What's up everyone? The final Power of Veto competition of Big Brother 23 has been played and we have a winner. But who is it and what does it mean for the rest of the week? We've got so much to talk about, guys, so welcome to your live feed update. Alright folks, it's a big day on TV Talks with Tom. Cue Cool and the gang. Folks, thanks to your incredible, amazing, wonderful, generous support, the channel has finally hit 10,000 subscribers. Let's go, guys. Celebrate good times. This is amazing. I am just unbelievably thankful for every single person who supported me so far. Just look at the gigantic smile on my face and my excitement. I am just thrilled. And listen, right, folks, this is it might sound corny or cheesy or whatever, but this is just as much your celebration as it is mine. Y'all have made this channel what it is, from us talking about Big Brother and people stoking that conversation of the show that we all know and love in the comment section, and just having amazing chats and talks about our favourite show. So folks, I just need to say a massive thank you to you, and y'all folks celebrate, right? Because like I said, this is just as much your celebration as it is mine. It's a community, is TV Talks with Tom, and it's like I said, it's corny, but I couldn't have done it without y'all. So thank you so much to every single last one of you for 10,000. It seems crazy even saying it, but folks, we ain't stopping yet. Here's to the next 10,000. Thanks, guys. Alright guys, let's jump right into the results of the Power of Veto competition. Of course, this is the all-important Power of Veto competition. It's essentially the winner-take-all of this week. I guess, you know, obviously the HOH is safe, but the only way to really, unless you're the HOH, solidify your safety this week is by winning the Power of Veto. Because if you don't win it and you're not a HOH, then you're going to be on the block. So folks, what it sounds like is these are the results. We'll go from, we know the winner for sure, but we'll go back and forth just to build the tension a little bit. I'm sure a lot of y'all know who won it already, but why not in classic reality television style? Let's intensify it a little bit. So in fourth place, not winning the Power of Veto, is Kyland. In third place, also not winning the Power of Veto, is Big D. So folks, it's down to Arza and Xavier. Who will win the Power of Veto? The winner, ladies and gentlemen, of the final Power of Veto of Big Brother 23 is... drag it out a little bit, American Idol style, X Factor style. It's Xavier, folks. A massive congratulations to Xavier for winning HOH and Veto in this week, basically controlling the entire week until it comes down to the vote of whoever is not on the block. In regards to that, Xavier did decide to nominate Arza and Carland at the beginning of the week. It makes no sense for him to change the nominee, so it's very likely he's going to discard the Power of Veto, leaving Arza and Kyland on the block, with Big D as the sole vote to evict this week. Now, always remember this, folks, as well. There is a lot of time until the veto ceremony takes place, because in Final Four, it usually happens to build the tension. Julie makes the contestants, or production, whoever it is, makes them do it on eviction night. So the Power of Veto competition ceremony will take place live, so we will see Xavier if he decides to use it or not use it. So if the Power of Veto ceremony was today, I would say 100% he is not using it. And also, I don't think he'd use it on Thursday either. But of course, we have seen this cast go backwards and forwards quite a lot on decisions. Usually, you know, it goes one way, then it goes the other, but it always ends up back where they started, usually with this cast. So I would imagine we might see some back and forth, but then it'll end up with Xavier not using the Power of Veto. But folks, there you go. Xavier has won the Power of Veto, and he is likely going to discard it, leaving Arza and Carland up for eviction this week. So folks, Xavier has been trying to get Big D to evict Kyland this week. Now, of course, Big D was kind of, you know, he was talking to Arza at the beginning of the week saying, I'm sorry for being a bad friend, you know, if I win the veto, I'm not going to use it on you, you know, or I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Rightfully so. If you win the veto, use it on yourself. Don't make the stupid Marcellus move. If you all have seen old school Big Brother, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Basically, don't pull a Marcellus. If you have the veto, you look out for you. Stop looking out for other people. You've known these people, you know, for a fraction of the time you've known your family members and your friends that you are hustling to get the money for and to bring back home, you know. And listen, the game is the game. You can make friendships afterwards. I know it sounds cutthroat, but there was a quote from Survivor, Heroes versus Villains, I always remember. I believe it was Tom Westman who said, tonight we make our move, tomorrow we make our apologies. And that's it. That's exactly it. It's a game. You make your move. You don't say, you can apologise after to try and mend bridges, but if people are going to be a true friend after the game, such as an example of Claire and Tiffany, they will realise that the game stays in the game, or the game is the game. And then friendship and family afterwards is a totally different thing, because friends can also almost become family in my eyes anyway. I truly believe that. So I think make the relationship outside the game, and the game relationship is a totally different thing. So I think that's fair, and Big D should not be apologising for that matter of the fact that he might be evicting Azza or not using the power of veto on her. Doesn't matter. He didn't win the power of veto, but of course he is probably going to be in prime position for being the person who chooses to evict someone this week. And Xavier is pushing Big D in the direction of evicting Kyland. Now, I'm going to take a moment here, and I don't want to bash anyone, but listen, Kyland should feel like a fool right now, and probably does, because he essentially simped over Xavier in the double eviction, and for many weeks for that matter, and kept him safe. And he had the prime opportunity to be in the Xavier position right now and take him out. I saw a couple of people going, I can see why Carland kept him around because he's the big shield, you know. Don't bring a big shield to the final four. Do not do that ever. I don't care what you say, oh, keep the shield around. There's a point where you have to cut the shield, and bringing the shield to the final four obviously hasn't worked, so he didn't make the right decision there. He needed to get rid of him, and the fact that he literally was like, I'm going to use the power of veto on you on eviction night. And the face Xavier pulled, I saw someone commented, it was something like, the face he pulled, Xavier, the way he looked at Carland when he said, I'm using the power of veto on you, it was like, you goddamn beautiful fool. And I was thinking, that is the perfect way of phrasing the look that Xavier gave Carland, because I think Xavier must have thought, is this idiot for real? Is he actually going to use the power of veto on me for me to evict him next week? Because that's what's going to happen, folks. Carland has basically thrown away his game by playing for Xavier. It's becoming more and more like occurring in Big Brother, you know, where we see people just laying down their game for the person who becomes the winner. Hey, let's all do what Cody wants. Let's do what Xavier wants. Let's do what Jackson Mickey wants. It's becoming more and more apparent. I mean, I wouldn't even say that for Casey and Tyler's season, because I feel like they really hustled the game. 19, I'll say it again, it wasn't for Josh, but let's do what Paul wants, you know. And I just think it's becoming ridiculous how much these people are often playing for somebody else rather than playing for themselves. And I'll say this again, I said it yesterday, listen, this is not bashing them on a personal level at all. I'm sure they're all wonderful people outside the game, but in the game, if you make a stupid move like Kyland has, then you face the consequences this week, and it looks like he'll be heading to the jury house in 4th place. Now, moving forwards, what's going to be interesting to think about is the final 2 situation, because we have a lot of delusion in that house and a lot of questionable gameplay. So I believe X is planning on taking Big D to the final 2. Big D, I think in his head, and he said it out loud, I'm pretty sure he believes he can beat Xavier. Let me repeat that, folks, and let it sink in. Big D, Derek Fraser, thinks he can beat Xavier in the final 2. Moment of silence. This guy, he needs to get a reality check. Like I say, I'm criticising game, not on a personal level. I think Big D is fantastic on a personal level. He is hilarious. The guy is so funny, and he has made me belly laugh this season. He has made me laugh my head off watching him in there. But on a game level, the guy needs to get with the programme. He needs to get with the programme and realise he is not going to beat Xavier. The only person he even stands a chance of beating in the final 2 is Azza. Because Big D, I think, is also planning on taking Xavier to the final 2. Because I don't know, maybe he thinks he can beat him. I feel like there's just like that bond of Xavier and Big D where they feel like they should take each other. And it's what I was just talking about there, where people are playing for somebody else. They don't think cutthroat. I think Big D probably feels like in his head he can probably beat Azza easier than he can beat Xavier, but I feel like he's probably still honouring deals. Don't honour deals when you get down to the final 3, even 4 or 5. Listen, right, just do what you got to do to get to the end. Did the legends of Big Brother back in the day... just even think about it. You don't even get that many legends of Big Brother in this day and age because people don't make big moves. People don't play for themselves. We've had a few legends this year because the game's finally changed up a bit. It's been a little bit stagnant the past few years, but we've seen people come in and pit people against each other. Like Tiffany has done it marvellously this year. Derek X hustled hard in comps and stuff like that. So you can only really become a legend in this day and age if you're like a comp beast or something like that. And even then, sometimes you don't even become a legend. So listen, these legends like Dr. Will and Janelle and Danielle Reyes, they're all legends because they played hard and they hustled hard and they played cutthroat. And I know you don't have to play cutthroat to win Big Brother, but it's unappealing as a viewer to see people playing a bit boring and a bit stagnant. So Big D needs to forget these deals that he's going on with Xavier and forget that he wants to, you know, go at the final 2 of them because it's beating the best and all that crap. Listen, ignore all that. Big D, make the big move. If you win final HOH by some miraculous moment, if you win the final HOH, cut Xavier, take Azza to the end to stand a chance to win the game. Yes, it will be a shocking final 2 in Big Brother history. It really would be. And offensive, but I'm, like I do in these videos, folks, I put myself in the perspective of each person. I'm not saying I want this to happen. I'm literally putting myself in Big D's shoes here and saying, okay, if I was Big D and I've been watching the game, what's going to be the best thing for him to do to get to the end? If I put myself in Xavier's shoes, it's a totally different story. Take either to the end. You're going to win the game, man. Great. Arza, she needs to take Big D. Big D needs to take Arza. It just cut Xavier at all costs if you want a chance at winning the game. Because if Xavier makes the final 2, the other person is going to get ridiculed by the jury. Mark my words. They will probably start claiming, especially Big D, that they've played this mastermind game and they've controlled all this stuff and they made the cookout. And then Tiffany will be sat there, Hannah will be sat there, you know, and Carland will be there and they'll be all going, no, Big D, you didn't make the cookout. You didn't. Tiffany did it. So that'll all transpire. I guess it'll be entertaining to watch, but I think the moral of the story is you need to make big moves if you want to win the game, especially when it gets down to the wire. If you don't have the balls to cut the big dog or the top dog, and if you don't have the balls to put yourself in front of everybody else like you should, Big Brother's a solo game, then I guess you don't deserve to win the game. That is all of your live feed updates for today, folks. I thoroughly hope you all enjoyed watching. I thought we'd end the show today with a little bit of fun music because, folks, I mean, I do feel like I am walking on sunshine right now with all the support and love that y'all guys are giving me. I just thank you so much. 10,000 subscribers. What on earth? It's crazy. It just seems alien to me, and I'm just unbelievably thankful to every single last one of you guys. So, of course, like I said, I just thought we'd end the show today with a bit of fun music, a bit of upbeatness. Thank you. 10,000 times over to you guys. I truly and literally couldn't have done it without you. Yes, it's corny as hell, but I couldn't have done, folks. And like I said, it's just as much your celebration as it is mine. TV Talks with Tom is a community, and it's something that I'm proud to have everybody on board with and talking about our favourite shows. So especially Big Brother. So, folks, thank you so much again. But let me know how you're feeling about this week in the comment section below. Do you think Xavier's done a good job winning the veto and being HOH? Who would you like to see evicted this week? Arza, Kyland, or Big D? Or I guess you could even say Xavier, because why not? If he wasn't the HOH, would you like to see him evicted? Folks, just let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. But I'll say as I always do, make sure that you're staying safe, staying positive and healthy out there, and be kind to one another, folks. That's an important one. Be kind to one another. But in the meantime, please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. But until your next live feed update, I've been your host, Tom Vasey. Good night. And thank you for 10,000 subs. Let's go.